welcome to the Esplanade Lagoon here in the far northern Queensland city of Cairns. Today, I'm going to be flying with East Air on their inaugural service down to Hamilton Island.
Let's go. Here we go now. Batman scoop on the mic, mixing the mix on the wheels of steel. This is what I was fucking born to do. Yes, let's go.
Having spent a very enjoyable weekend in Cairns, taking a trip down memory lane and doing nearly the exact same things I did the first time I came here 4 years ago, it was time to return to the airport and join Australia's quote-unquote newest airline, East Air, down to the tropical paradise, Hamilton Island. Cairns is a tropical, far north Queensland city, adjacent to the Coral Sea and the northern end of the Great Dividing Range. The city serves as the northern gateway to the Great Barrier Reef, Kuranda Village and Torres Strait Island region of far northern Queensland. The city is host to around 178,000 people and are among the friendliest in the country, well, at least in my experience. Serving the city is Cairns International Airport, located in the dense mangrove swamps 7 kilometres north of the city centre, and is the second largest regional airport in the country, with the first being Gold Coast at the southern end of the state. From here you can fly to 39 destinations across 10 countries, with the majority of flights being to the capital cities. The most notable airline that operates from here, excluding today's of course, is that of SmartLynx, East Air's direct competitor. Despite today's flight being the first ever commercial flight for East Air, and as such, quite a momentous occasion, what makes this one so special? Or rather, what makes this flight different to other inaugurals that I have flown on in the past? Well, for starters, let's talk about the airline that I'm about to fly with. East Air is a far north Queensland regional airline based out of their headquarters in Cairns. Before today, and for almost 15 years, their primary role was to serve small towns and remote areas of Queensland, as well as charter flights too, until CEO Alan Milne acquired the airline and kickstarted their now commercial role. Their current fleet consists of 2 Beechcraft 1900D aircraft. However, with their strong ambition, in the future they are expected to operate a fleet of Dash 8 Q300s too. At the present time, they only operate one route between Cairns and Hamilton Island. However, with their new aircraft in the future, they will expand their operations further. As to where that will be, only time will tell. Getting to Cairns Airport from the city centre is really easy. There is the 121 route bus service, taxis, and of course Uber, which was my choice today. Upon arriving at the domestic terminal building, I quickly made my way inside to find the East Air counter and begin the check-in formalities, and to that I didn't have to go far. Check-in for East Air can be found in the near centre of the building, adjacent to the Regional Express and Qantas check-in counters. The check-in experience today was very pleasant, and not to mention quick and efficient. The check-in agents were equally excited about today's flight as I was. With my bag sent on its way to Hamilton Island, I was handed my small boarding pass and a few goodies to commemorate today's inaugural flight, which I will showcase later on. But for now, up next was security. Security here at Terminal 2 is located on the far right-hand side of the check-in area, adjacent to Virgin Australia's priority lanes. This morning, security was about what you would expect for this time and day, taking roughly 5 minutes to pass through. Post-security is a vast selection of retail stores, restaurants, bars, and more, and there is even a Qantas club located on level 2. Thanks to a redevelopment in 2010, the terminal now features 17 gates in a linear design. Whilst I love the modern design of Cairns Airport, my only criticism about this terminal is that there are no proper window views out onto the apron, so it feels less like an airport and a bit more like a shopping mall. As is typical for Cairns Airport, the majority of small airlines use gates 14 to 16, such as QantasLink's Dash 8 Q400s, all Rex and SmartLynx flights, and now all East Air flights, which was the case for today, and waiting at the gate was a whole lot more than I was expecting.
From the top, let's go.
Waiting just outside of the gate were 2 radio presenters, an army of ground staff, East Air management, politicians, shareholders, and by the gate was a beautifully designed area, sectioned off for the speeches that'll be made later on. There was also a Great Barrier Reef and East Air themed cake and cupcakes too, as well as 2 flower bouquets. Upon arrival at the gate, I was invited by the radio presenters Johnny and Inky to join them on Star 102.7.
Nice to meet you, sir.
Alan.
Nice to meet you, Alan.
Likewise. Looking forward to seeing you on board.
Yeah.
Good morning, fun with Queensland. It is Johnny and Inky on Star 102.7. Happy Monday. We're out of the Star studio and we're doing it live. We have just met a man who is from Sydney that is about to go on the inaugural flight with East Air from Cairns to Hamilton Island. It is Luke. Good morning, Luke.
Good morning. How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. This is very, very exciting. Luke, you actually, you've got Young Aussie Flyer, which is on YouTube. You like to fly around and rate airplanes.
That I do.
Where did we come up with this? Because do you do this for a living or what do you do? You've got an office job. What's the office job?
So I work for a company called
Which is?
Yeah, it's a plumbing company
Right,
based in
so
Sydney.
it's not aeroplanes.
No, unfortunately not.
Where has this begun that you love rating aeroplanes?
Oh, it's been around ever since I can remember. I've wanted to do something like this ever since I was a child.
Yeah.
And I never really had the opportunity to do it until, once I turned 18 and started getting money.
Wow.
Yeah, fair enough. Now, Luke, how do you rate
Yes.
a flight? Is it you rating the flight itself, the plane? What are we rating?
So with my reviews, it's basically on almost every single factor. So check-in, security, the boarding
wow.
experience, the crew on board, the actual seat on board, everything else that goes along with it. And an inaugural flight usually comes with extra amenities and, special events, like, for example, the cakes over there.
Yes.
The
Yeah, they look
special
good.
stuff that you get given at check-in.
Yes.
And also the bragging rights.
Of course, there's a fair bit of that, mate. That's really interesting. No wonder people are starting to look a little nervous around here because I know Luke's here to review
Yes.
everything and get it all done. So, mate, what's the following like on YouTube? We've got a bit of a following there on the channel.
Just shy of 4,000 subscribers at the
Wow,
moment.
well done, mate.
Have you been to Hamilton Island before?
I have unfortunately not been to Hamilton Island until today.
Hooray!
Hey,
You
here
said
we
you've flown
go.
over quite a few times.
Yeah, I've definitely flown over it many times.
Obviously been to Cairns a couple of times.
Oh yeah, Cairns is by far one of my favourite cities.
Oh,
Oh, we love to
Lukey
hear that,
boy.
mate. You're saying all the right things here, mate.
You are. Well, good luck on the inaugural East Air flight, and may you let us know how you enjoy the flight and also how you enjoy Hamilton Island.
Will do.
Thank you, Luke. It is Johnny and Inky on Star 102.7. If you would like to win yourself a couple of flights, return flights from Cairns to Hamilton Island and back to Cairns with East Air, you can be on our standby list.
Yeah, give us a buzz right now, 4041 1027, 2 return flights from Cairns to Hamo. You can even review the flights like Lukey Boy here. We probably don't want any competition in the market, do we, Lukey?
Don't
do that.
It is Johnny and Inky on Star.
The Kyle and Jackie.
Thank you, Luke.
That was fun.
On you, Luke.
Well
That was
done.
really fun. Great stuff, brother. I love that you've got a bit of a following behind you.
Yes,
That's
we do.
great. It's a passion project.
Yeah, it's great fun.
That's cool.
This was then followed by the speeches and photos.
Thanks, David. I was just talking to Bree, 43 years in the industry. I've done a few Newport startup like this. This one is different. This one is like one I've never seen before or felt before. When you're doing it for yourself, it is a big, big difference. First up, a big thank you to Cairns Airport. They've been fantastic. Hamilton Island themselves, they're the ones that have really driven this, so we're happy to be part of that. We also wanted to announce today, and this is particularly for Cairns people, is a Sunday afternoon flight down to Hamilton Island, which means now Cairns people can do it Friday morning down to Hamilton Island, back on Sunday afternoon. So a little short break, ready for work on Monday, all nice and refreshed. So I'd like to thank everyone for today coming along. We really appreciate your time, especially on a Monday morning. I'd like to thank Nell for all the marketing that she's been doing has been amazing, and the rest of the team has just been fantastic. So thank you, and we look forward to seeing you on board soon. Thank you.
Thanks, Alan.
This is truly exciting for our region, and I really want to congratulate Alan Milne and his whole team from East Air, but also the Cairns Airport, Hamilton Island Airport, for wrapping around you. We all knew that this flight was important to bring back to our region. And what was a simple event that I was at, where I met the CEO of Hamilton Island, and we were just having a discussion. He's like, I really wish we had those flights back between Cairns and Hamilton Island. I said, yeah, I really wish you did too. I said, actually, I think I know someone. I might introduce you on Monday. So that was 5 months ago that I sent an email introduction to these two fantastic men, and they literally have made this happen with the help of the Cairns Air. But honestly, the work that you have done to pull this off in 5 short months is just absolutely extraordinary. So congratulations on your inaugural flight. I know this is going to be the start of something big for you, Alan. You've always done so much for other companies, but this is your company, this is you, and I just know that you're going to do so much, and it's so humbling, and I'm so incredibly proud of you, and as is the rest of Cairns, for what you're doing. And so on behalf of the Premier and our Minister for Tourism and myself, congratulations, and thank you for connecting Queensland.
Ready? On 3. Push. 1, 2, 3. We're looking here, ladies and gents.
Beautiful. Beautiful. And just one more. 1, 2, 3. Smile.
As high as you can.
Beautiful.
Once everything was wrapped up, I was quickly interviewed by the Cairns Post newspaper before the boarding call was announced. Boarding was made in no particular order, but I was asked to hang back as the Cairns Post took their photos of me. As gates 14 to 16 are used by small regional airlines, a fairly lengthy 10-minute walk out to the aircraft is required, but the majority of it is undercover, so you don't have to worry too much about the weather. As we made our way out onto the apron, I was finally able to glimpse the aircraft that's waiting to take me south to Hamilton Island, which today is a Beechcraft 1900D, serial number UE94, and is currently registered as Victor Hotel Juliet Yankee Alpha. Construction of this airframe was completed at the Beechcraft Final Assembly Plant in Wichita, Kansas in 1994. She has had a very interesting history, first flying for United Express as November 94 Uniform X-Ray. She moved around to a few different airlines that I couldn't find any pictures of, such as Airfast in Indonesia, before moving to Ad Astral Aviation Services as Victor Hotel November Oscar Alpha in 2007. In 2019, she was bought by the United Nations to operate in South Africa as Zulu Sierra Alpha Lima Tango, before finally being bought by Townsville Air and being painted in this all-white livery and adopting her current registration, which makes this aircraft 31 years old. East Air's Beechcraft 1900Ds are in the standard configuration, with 19 seats in a 1-1 layout, with the final row having 3 seats across. This morning I shall be seated in 2 Charlie on the right-hand side or starboard side of the aircraft. Unfortunately, there is no available data on the East Air seat. However, the seat features 29 inches or 73.6 centimeters of pitch and 17 inches or 43 centimeters of width. There is a standard tray table that folds down but does not extend. In the seat back pocket, you'll find a safety card only. Adjacent to the seat is a small air vent, and above are individual reading lights only.
From the top, let's go!
Soon, the cabin door was closed and the prop began to turn, 10 minutes behind our scheduled departure time.
Welcome aboard. The Beechcraft 1900 airliner has many features for your comfort and safety. Please take a moment to review the safety briefing card located in the seat pocket in front of you.
taxied to runway 33 via Delta, Charlie 2, Bravo and Bravo 4. Now please enjoy this unedited takeoff. After takeoff, we followed the standard traffic pattern to the east before setting up our southerly course for Hamilton Island. Flight time today is 1 hour and 15 minutes, covering a distance of 346 miles or 557 kilometers, cruising at 23,000 feet. Once in the air, off to the right side of the aircraft and down below was the city that we just departed from, that being Cairns. Handed out by the first officer just prior to engine start were these little cardboard boxes with East Air branding. Inside the box was an East Air branded metal water bottle, a Lindt chocolate ball, and a small packet of cheese and crackers. Continuing down the coastline, due to today's flight path, the last piece of visible land that I saw today was that of Yarrabah, just south of Cairns. At check-in, I was handed a few items to commemorate today's inaugural flight, and that being an East Air cap and a lanyard, which was really cool to receive. As stated in this video's title, today's flight took the aircraft over the stunning Great Barrier Reef, and in order to not spoil the view, please enjoy this 30-second montage. Just prior to our descent, the coastline came back into view, and just off in the distance was the small town of Bowen, which is just north of Airlie Beach. Soon we commenced our descent into Hamilton Island. As the aircraft slowly descended over the southern coastal waters of the Great Barrier Reef, my eyes remained glued to the windows on both sides as I was eager to catch my first close-up glimpse of Hamilton Island. Having never flown into this part of Australia before, I had no idea which side of the aircraft would offer the best view, so I chose the right side in order to be able to see the coastline during cruise, but in hindsight, I'd recommend sitting on the left, as you'll actually get to see the full island during approach, but of course this can vary depending on the weather of the day. As the Beechcraft 1900D has no cockpit door, I also had the rare opportunity to look straight through the windshield and see the runway ahead during approach. Now please enjoy this unedited landing. After landing, we taxied back to the apron via Alpha. As we taxied onto the stand, we were treated by the Hamilton Island Airport firefighters with a water cannon salute to commemorate this first flight. We then pulled in onto stand 1 Alpha, 25 minutes behind our scheduled arrival time. Stepping off the aircraft and onto the apron, I thanked the pilots for the flight before turning my attention towards collecting my bag and going up the mountain to view the aircraft departing back for Cairns. So, I just flew with East Air on their first ever commercial flight. How did they do? Well, as always, let's start from the beginning. The check-in experience today was really easy and took no time at all. East Air unfortunately does not offer seat selection during the booking process. However, the ground staff were more than happy to accommodate my request for seat 2 Charlie. Security was fairly typical for Cairns, and for once, my bag wasn't subject to additional screening, which was a pleasant surprise. On board, the seat was quite comfortable, conforming nicely to the shape of my body, and is already slightly reclined. The food served on board was very similar to what you'd find on other airlines, but receiving a branded metal water bottle was definitely a highlight for me. Whilst there's no flight attendant or bathroom on board this aircraft, I didn't find either to be necessary, as the flight was short enough that having either of them would be excessive. Besides, where would you even fit a bathroom on an aircraft of this size? And finally, I paid 235 Australian dollars for this one-way flight, which I think is fair and reasonable, especially when you consider how much Qantas Link would have charged for the same route. So, would I recommend you to fly with East Air? A resounding yes. Definitely do it, especially if you're from Cairns. Their hospitality is unlike anything I've ever experienced with any other airline, so I will definitely be back in the future, especially once their Dash 8 start operating next year. To book your East Air flight, go to eastair.com.au. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like, comment and subscribe, and make sure you check out my other videos if you want to see more. And I have said this before, but I now have a Discord server. Feel free to join. The link can be found at the top of the description. And as always, feel free to press the notification button too, as it will let you know whenever I upload, which happens every Friday at 8 PM Sydney time. And I hope to see you all again in the next one. See you later!